Things are always happening, but if you believe that they're not, and if you let yourself stay down, discouraged, and unmotivated in the in-between, you're gonna be fucking miserable. Think of your business like a garden. The day you plant the seed will not be the day you eat the fruit. You're listening to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. I'm your host, Jill Perrick, a business and mindset coach who specializes in imposter syndrome. If you feel like you're not as smart, capable, or worthy as you actually are, and that someone is going to find you out, then you come to the right place. I went from being a struggling government worker, working my coaching business on the side, but feeling unworthy and burnt out, to making multiple six figures helping women overcome imposter syndrome so they too can sign clients, make bank, and have the business or career of their dreams. I am nothing special. I have a stuttering disability, ADHD, and I struggle with anxiety and depression. So if I can learn how to feel good enough and overcome my inner imposter, then so can you. Let's dig in. Hi, hello friends. Wow, we are at the end of February, which is wild. How are we? I am so good. And actually, while you're listening to this, I am actually getting a little procedure done. I am getting chin liposuction. Okay, so chin lipo is something that I have always dreamt about. And also, disclaimer, I don't care what you think about plastic surgery or what your beliefs are. You are allowed to have your thoughts and I'm allowed to have mine, and your beliefs can be your beliefs and mine can be mine. Capiche? Okay, great. So I'm a lover of Botox. You guys know this. I did get filler back in 2021, mainly under my eyes and in some other parts of my face, but I didn't love it. I personally will never put filler in my lips. It's just not my thing, and I'm actually okay with my lips. But my double chin has been an insecurity my entire life, and it's hereditary on my dad's side of the family, and I have a very round face, and I've done Alkyra, which is Kybella, which are injections to dissolve fat, and it kind of worked. But essentially, I've just always wanted to get rid of my double chin, okay? And the stars have aligned in 2023, and I'm getting it done right now as you're listening to this. I'm so excited, and I'm going to do my best to vlog that experience because I know I love seeing those videos. And I hope this also helps you feel less shame about the things that you want to do and feel less judgment about what people think. Fuck them, okay? So that's that. Come over to Instagram and say hi. I'll respond when I'm not drugged up anymore. And the funny thing is I have to wear this friggin' chin strap for like a week straight, and I have to sleep upright for a week too. But it's all part of the process, right? Okay. Enough about my plastic surgery escapades. And your weekly reminder to come join the fun in my one-to-one coaching program, Worthy and Wealthy, where I work with you for 6 months to help you overcome imposter syndrome and the limiting beliefs holding you back so you can show up consistently, sell your services confidently, and sign coaching clients. You get an on-demand curriculum, weekly one-to-one coaching calls, access to me in Voxer, and monthly workshops and group calls with me and my other one-to-one clients. I truly believe that I am one of the best coaches in the industry, and my clients are not only getting amazing results, but they are building sustainable and amazing businesses as a result of our work together. So apply now at the link in my show notes. So today's episode is called The Backpacker's Mindset, and in the Worthy and Wealthy curriculum, I use the analogy of having an online business is like being a backpacker, but so many of y'all believe that it's supposed to be a luxury vacation. You unconsciously believe that once you do the things like decide on an offer and then show up and sell it, you should reach the destination and not have to do anything else. But having an online business is like being a backpacker on a long journey. And the map is not the terrain, which is a neuro-linguistic programming concept, meaning that what you think is supposed to happen inside of your online business is almost never the case of how it goes. People don't account for feeling like a fraud or when they're not getting sales calls, when they're in between clients, etc., and they make it mean something. But there is truly no destination when it comes to running your online business, because once you reach that, you may enjoy it for a bit, but you'll always just be on to the next thing. And being a backpacker isn't always fun or glamorous. It is a journey One of my most requested topics for the podcast is how to navigate times and feelings when you're not seeing immediate results. And I call this the in-between, when you are between clients, between sales calls, between moments of when a client says yes, but they haven't paid the contract or signed yet. And the truth is, there are more in-between moments than moments of it's working. Those moments are actually so fleeting. They are amazing. Don't get me wrong. And when you're on a high and signing clients and things are happening, I want you to sink into that feeling. But I also don't want you to make it mean anything if you have big gaps between clients or if you've had a long time between sales calls. You have to be able to hold yourself through that discomfort because it's uncomfortable, like sleeping somewhere other than your bed at home. Maybe you expected the place you're staying at in Italy to be beautiful, and there's loud crickets at night that are keeping you awake, and it's not what you thought it would be. But remember, the map is not the terrain. Your in-between moments don't have to mean anything unless you make them mean something. I was coaching a client in one of my group programs recently, and she was so convinced that something was wrong because she hadn't signed a client in 7 months. After assuring her that nothing has gone wrong, that it was normal to have client droughts, especially within the first couple years of your business, I gave her some tough coaching as well. And then a month later, like not even, she had a couple of potential clients on rotation and a company wanting to hire her as a third-party coach. Things are always happening, but if you believe that they're not, and if you let yourself stay down, discouraged, and unmotivated in the in-between, you're gonna be fucking miserable. Think of your business like a garden. The day you plant the seed will not be the day you eat the fruit. And if you're impatiently awaiting the fruit, that tells me that you're on a timeline. And you have to do your best to say, fuck the timeline. I am worthy of my dreams and desires. What if your business being successful was inevitable? What if all your goals would manifest if you just stayed the course, no matter how long it took? I credit this way of thinking to my success. I would sit in my cubicle at my full-time job, uploading my Instagram posts, which were taking forever because the internet was terrible. And I just took it day by day. I didn't tell myself, I'm giving myself until next year to make this happen. I just stayed focused on my goals. I remember setting a goal to have a 20K month, and I set this goal in January 2020, and I didn't hit it until September 2021. So sure, it took more than a year and a half, but I was becoming the person who had a 20K month during that time. And because I never lost sight of where I was going or what I wanted to achieve, it was bound to happen, as long as I released my expectations around when it should happen and I didn't get discouraged when it didn't fit my obscure timeline. And that's another thing. You need to release how things should happen. There's way more to this story, and I'll tell it one day on the podcast for sure, but I had a certain amount of debt that I wanted to pay off. I felt super dragged down and discouraged by this debt, and I was always setting goals to pay it down, but I was also open to the debt being taken care of in any way that was for my highest good. And sure enough, a solution occurred that helped me pay it all off, and a huge weight was lifted off my shoulders because of it. But for so long, I was so hell-bent on paying it off in one certain way that I never even considered the other options were possible until they were. This in-between time when your goals haven't manifested yet is perfect for 2 reasons. Yes, perfect. I said that. For 2 reasons. 1, it is a great time to reflect on what's already occurred. Like maybe you're struggling to get consistent clients, but you once dreamed of a time when you could even sign 1 client, and you've already done that. How can you lean into gratitude and recognition of yourself for continuing to grow and evolve, even if you haven't hit all your goals yet? And 2, the in-between time will expose all of your mindset drama and limiting beliefs. And that's where the juiciness is. Yes, I think mindset drama, imposter syndrome, and limiting beliefs are juicy because they are literally the only things in your way. They are hurdles for you to overcome, not stop signs that indicate the end of the road. Every negative thought and limiting belief can be shifted so you can move towards the highest, best version of yourself. When you see mindset issues as an opportunity for growth and expansion, you can truly never go wrong. For example, if you're trying to sign consistent clients, but you're in between that, Maybe you have a belief that you can't take on too many clients without being burnt out. And this doesn't need to be a limitation. It can just be something that you look at, work through, and work out. And once you decide that something is no longer a problem on a subconscious level, you leave space for it to occur. And finally, your in-between moments are good for the motherfucking plot. Meaning that your struggles, your in-between times, your hardships, they are making you a better human, a more relatable coach, and more experienced. My best lessons were in the midst of dry sales months and client droughts. My most poignant breakthroughs were when I was in the depths of despair about my business. My biggest confidence shifts were when I was feeling like a big fat fraud. Your in-between moments are just that, in-between moments of success and failure, but not even failure, rather just less ideal circumstances. But it's inevitable when you're on a journey, and that's where you are. You're on a backpacking journey through entrepreneurship, figuring out how to best navigate the course, giving it your best shot, enjoying wherever you are when you're there, and putting one foot in front of the other. If you're in an in-between moment right now, nothing has gone wrong. You are good enough, you are an expert at what you do, and you just have to keep things moving. I have been exactly where you are, and honestly, I'm doing this all for the first time too. But you have to know that your goals are meant for you, your desires are meant for you. Just keep working towards them, and they will occur. I love you guys, and if you want me walking alongside you on this crazy entrepreneurial journey, if you want to finally overcome the imposter syndrome and the limiting beliefs holding you back, if you want to show up consistently, sell your services with confidence, and sign clients, book a sales call at the link in my show notes to work with me in 6 months of my one-to-one coaching program, Worthy and Wealthy. I love you guys, and I'll see you in March. Thanks for listening to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. Head to the show notes to find out how you can take this work deeper with me in one-to-one coaching or in the From Imposter to Empowered group program. In the show notes, you'll also find a free 3-day challenge to start the process of overcoming your inner imposter. And once you're done with all of that, screenshot this episode and share it on Instagram, tagging me at your coach Jill so we can connect. See you next time.